teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't actually expecting to be able to react today if anything came up because I was meant to be having my dental surgery right now. Actually, my appointment was at 6:30, it's 6:32 right now. And unfortunately I got a phone call yesterday cancelling it because the doctor's been called away. She's the only doctor in that clinic that can do the extraction, and yeah, it's just a thing. They tried to rebook me for next Monday and I was like, nope, this is my vacation, it's the only time. Because could you imagine rocking up to my school and being like, yeah, no, I know I just had a vacation, but I need 3 to 5 days off. See ya. It's not going to happen, particularly as there was an announcement saying that the kids are coming back to school in person on the 23rd, which means we're going back next week and then the week after they're back. So we're still figuring out how that's going to work with numbers and things. I'll find out after the vacation, but it's going to be a busy week. So I'll probably have to book it again during the March vacation, I think. We've got a week off then. And until then, I'm just going to have to wait, which is unfortunate, but thank you for all your well wishes. I did get a few people wishing me in the comments and on Twitter, and I appreciate it very much. But hey, it means I'm here for this. Yay! This is just Saying House copy of her unlisted live stream she did. She intended for this to be a tier 3, is it? No. Yeah, that's what she called it, tier 3, the $30 a month tier. But she could not figure out, for the life of her, how to do tiered membership. So why she put it live before she researched that, these are questions we ask. But there are no answers. There are no answers other than the fact that every thought that goes through her head is an impulse she must follow. So she's been asking her chat, and her chat sent her instructions, and she still can't do it. So this is where we are. Now, usually if a video was behind a paywall, I probably wouldn't react to it, but she does say in this video that she's abolishing the tiers. I don't know, I should check the channel actually before I turn the camera on. I don't know if she has or not yet, but she's expressed the intention to, so I feel like this doesn't really count. But if she does continue with a paywall, that may have to be something to reevaluate, we'll see. I'm not confident that she's gonna be consistent in bringing members only content to you all, so you know, call me pessimistic, but all right. So this was a test, just to see if people would get it, if people would snipe it, if people would get the link, and shocker, all of those things happened. So let's get into it.
It's supposed to be tier 3. Now there might be like a mole in here or something who might send the link to other people. I don't.
A mole being a paying member.
No, that's the only thing I'm like testing out. I don't know. I mean, it's literally the only way I can do this. But at least, like, if it's unlisted, then at least I can, I don't know. Casey, I think there's like maybe close to 40 now. So
I can't believe 40 of her members signed up for a $30 thing. I can't. Like, I'm sorry, I know that everyone gets to take responsibility for their own money, but what are you doing? What are you doing? And worse, like, the people who would pay the $30 are usually, with a few exceptions, usually her ride or dies. So all she's doing by having a $30 section is taking the people who actually are supporting her and gouging them for more money. Like, but she feels really bad about it.
We see the number go above that for viewership. Somebody has the link. I think they're passing it around or something. I don't know. Nobody leak the links because then it won't be intimate anymore. Yeah, just
for clarity, the only reason she's done this is because she wants less criticism in the chat. So essentially what she's saying is, in order for me to be more comfortable with my chat, I want you to pay 6 times the amount you were paying before for the privilege of being here.
Certain things that I talk about, you know? And even if like I publish the video after, it's just at the time, it's at least just a more intimate setting for people at the time, just not to be constantly attacked by like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
All for her
comfort. But you know what I'm saying? A nice easy chat, yes. I really don't want it to be just the same content, like.
But she's gonna do nothing to change it.
You know, like I updated the perks. I made sure the perks like match what I can do. You know, I'm definitely looking into merch, so it'd be cool like for people who, I don't know, extra appreciation for people who just like extra appreciate me. You know.
I'm not sure, this conversation about merch, she seems to be saying, oh, I'll send you a t-shirt if you're in the top tier or something like that. She had a vague kind of discussion about it, but wasn't very sure because she doesn't know. does she think like merch is a membership perk? Like that's the purpose of merch? Is that what she's planning? Just make a small run of t-shirts and send them to members? That wouldn't be a bad idea if she wanted to do it. But the merch itself, you know, appreciate people who appreciate me. Merch isn't you appreciating people. Merch would be, merch is for them to buy, so it's just generating you more revenue. You've got most of the time, no investment in that. Unless obviously you're paying like a designer or something, but chances that she's going to do that really. So even if you've got a small investment in the beginning, it's not for the benefit of the members, it's for the benefit of your wallet. So you're not appreciating members doing that. Appreciating members would be, you know, giving them the things they ask on channel, like pre-recorded content and not talking about nada. It would be acknowledging them in a chat that isn't followed immediately by fuck you block. That would be another great way to appreciate your members. But that's not what we usually see.
So it's at 15 viewers right now. If it goes like above 40, I'll be like, someone has the link. Maybe they shouldn't have. You guys will definitely get more, you'll definitely get inside tea. Because I feel like I can talk more to a smaller group of people.
About this, what are the chances? Okay, so if this was hugely successful and no one had leaked the link, let's think for a moment, let's just take this to its logical end. So she keeps doing them, and there are 40 people there, but there aren't 40 people in every one because she goes live at really odd hours and most other people have things like jobs. So it's very easy to see a situation where she would go live at a really weird time and the $30 crew are busy and she's got 5 people in chat. But she's entirely reliant on the chat for her content. She, like, the conversation with the chat or the raging at the chat or whatever it is, they propel the conversation of the live. So with 5 people, can she maintain that? And she's got her own needs as a creator, not just earning money, but her psychological need for attention isn't going to be satisfied with 5 people. So even if this had been a successful run and she could see a way it was going to work for her long term, she wouldn't sustain it long term with so few people. And I can't believe, and I realize I may be generally underestimating human stupidity, but I can't believe many more people would sign up for the $30 tier.
Like just having like 15, 20 of us or 30 of us even, like they get, if somebody who's a VIP gets the link, they could chat. Because you can only set the chat to members only, but you can't distinguish what tier you want.
Yes, you can.
It's really weird, like I can't figure it out, like I've tried for ever today.
Those are 2 different things, aren't they? You can't figure it out versus it can't be done. 2 very different things. She's going to bring this up a few times, but basically what I think has happened, and we'll talk a little bit more about this during the iPad conversation, she does everything through her phone. I don't think the Studio app on the phone has the functionality of the desktop version. So she needs the desktop version to be able to apply these settings, I think. I don't actually live stream very often at all, and I don't have memberships or tiers of memberships, so I can't test this myself to check for you. But I believe that's what's going on. I think someone sent her instructions, and the instructions assume a desktop, whereas she's just got her phone.
I made that my day's work, and so...
her day's work is going to have been like half an hour frustration, getting high and sleeping with the cats.
No. I can release vlogs first. Yes, that's true. I can release them first for you guys.
As if you're going to do vlogs. Come on.
I can set the audience specifically. Yeah, Jamie, I know. I'm going to have some things planned for here, for sure. Try being your full boss and being disciplined is like where it's really tough for me. Like, I could totally organize my life and be so productive and way more successful than I am.
You could. You won't, but you absolutely could. She's got a large audience. She's had times where for a short period of time, she's been fairly consistent and she's got mainly positive feedback. And it can happen. It would take a lot to turn this channel around. It would. But if she were able to do it and do it consistently, that's all people are really looking for, some kind of consistency. And frankly, even if she were consistent with something that people generally didn't like very much, even if she went back to mukbangs and was just consistent with those, she'd still have reactors, she'd still have criticism over the way she eats given the state of her health and things like that, things that were just discussed before. But if she were determined enough and consistent enough to keep it just on one topic, the world would turn and things would go back or move forward, depending on how you want to look at it, to more or less what she had before. Her problem tends to be, I can't pick a lane and I overshare in ways I don't mean to, and then I try and lie about it. Something else that's going to be relevant later. And that's what's causing most of her problems right now. So that self-discipline, it has to apply everywhere.
No, well, we're not in a relationship or anything like that.
Speaking
There's a
of,
lot of issues and things, like stuff I just can't talk about. Like, I really promised
so we're talking about it.
Him online, just I promised
So
you
we're
guys,
talking about it.
Him. I'm not saying that's gonna be forever. I don't know my health. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying that's going to be forever. Clearly she's got plans at some point they're going to be together and he's going to be okay with it. I guess that's what I'm reading into that sentence. I could be reading it wrongly.
I'm trying, like, as a resolution, I really want to stick to I want to try to honor my word. I want my word to mean something, you know?
Shed a tear as she sheds her tears, but her word means something.
Oh? No. You didn't threaten me early on if I talked about him online or anything like that. You guys want all the friggin' tea, I know.
Yeah, well, they're paying $30 for it.
I don't even know. I've been very secretive about what I've been doing, but it's on purpose.
Honey, I've been very secretive. Is she aware that she is not subtle? We have been able to follow step by step where she's been, yeah? And then when the COVID conversation started, because we all thought she had COVID, she started using being in Gatineau with Nada as a defense for breaking the curfew, because the curfew states in Quebec you have to be a resident in the home to be there. And she was like, oh, well, it was like my second. She replied to a comment somewhere on Twitter. God, I wish I'd clipped it. It's out there somewhere. Where she had basically said, well, it was basically my second residence at the time. And you were like, oh, really? Oh, really interesting. Plus all the other evidence we've gone over before in terms of Pete saying she was out already, in terms of her whole family being in lockdown for COVID, lockdown in quarantine, same difference, for COVID, in terms of her basically not having any other friends, because she certainly wasn't going to go to BB. Shannon hates her. She hasn't seen Rena basically since she dumped her at the previous New Year party. Like, a lot of stuff's going on there, yeah? There's very few people she could have gone to. Clearly she was at his, and she forgets that she's admitted it and that we've seen her admit it before.
Yeah, well, some people are definitely have anger issues. You know what though? Like, I realize my own anger issues a lot too now. Like, I really like, no, I do bottle it up, Liliana. Like,
when? I'm sorry, when does she bottle it up? Was there a break in the rages that I missed?
I don't know. Like, some people must see things I don't see for real. Because people are like, I know you
wouldn't
have
surprise me.
Your grandmother, and it's so true.
And this whole thing. I'm not telling her, and I'm not telling anyone how they get to grieve, because there's no real timetable for it. Like, it might hit you a year from now, it might hit you 2 years from now, and you just have a moment and you're grieving, or you may just be delayed in the grieving process. There's a ton of stuff. She only ever brings it up when she wants sympathy, and it really irritates me because it's an actual serious thing that I think does deserve a lot of sympathy, and I hate how she uses it, because she does use it.
29 people, so 31? How many freaking members do I have? I don't remember. But I actually do have my therapist still. I know people don't think I do. I do have my therapist still, and it's just mentally, it's been so tough lately.
Well, it'd be a good idea to have that appointment then, wouldn't it? Because I was under the impression that she didn't have the appointment that she was going to have. Or am I misremembering that?
You're back on dating apps.
Oh, terrible idea.
I'm not.
No, don't.
I can't go back on dating apps.
Terrible idea. Do not do it.
I can't right now. Number one, because like a lot of people like know who I am on there.
That might be
I think it would be fun, like just as like something fun to do, maybe.
Oh, please don't. Tinder was the name of the app. I couldn't remember the other time. I was like, Twitch, Twitter. No, it's a T word. I think she might be overestimating her reach, but I do think that people are capable of doing a basic Google and all the fun they would find if they Googled her name, really. But I don't think she should get back on a dating app at all. I think it's asking for trouble. One, because she's clearly not psychologically ready at all. And two, because she's really not careful with her own security and her own health. And so she's going to be found in pieces under a bridge somewhere. Please, for the love of God, learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to sort of be there for yourself and how to be comfortable being with yourself, and then go looking for someone else. Yeah?
Yeah, Sophia, it's like you just get, like, I get desensitized to it because you learn a lot about yourself.
Oh,
like,
this is about
you
hate on
really
the
have to
internet,
try not to, like, put your self-worth in what others think of you. It's just, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, I know.
I would agree with that to a certain extent. I think if you're going to put stuff online, there's going to be a percentage of people, no matter what you're presenting, that hate it. I think the stuff she puts online has a higher percentage because people have been very vocal in the fact that they don't like it and why they don't like it, and she has a tendency to ignore people and do the opposite of what she's told, which doesn't tend to help her. So this idea of, oh, well, you know, don't be too hard on yourself is just, it's that toxic positivity again. I'm going to frame this in a positive statement that's actually really bad for me because I don't want the accountability of what I see online. And she says it later where she doesn't want to focus on things so she doesn't deal with them. And this is just another example of that. Don't be too hard on yourself because you shouldn't beat yourself up, but you should take responsibility. And I think there is a line there that she steps way over because she confuses one with the other.
Well, I'm a mess and I know whatever, but I mean, I just hope people just don't understand me, or I mean,
No,
there's so
no,
many different.
that's not the
people
problem. The problem isn't that we don't understand. The problem is we frequently do understand. And we frequently do see things that she doesn't mean to present. And we frequently do remember things that she has chosen to erase or reframe. And she doesn't like it. You just don't understand. No. The problem is we do. And you don't like it.
There's going to be so many different opinions, right? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like something got leaked because there's 46 people watching.
Yeah, chances
I don't know
are.
how many members I have. Maybe I have that many. 50 now?
But would 100% of them be here?
Like a leak. There can't be that many people.
Mm-hmm.
What iPad? I don't have an iPad.
Oh, let's just check her face. I don't have an iPad. What iPad? What are you talking about? I don't have an iPad. Might be relevant in a second. Let's just watch it.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? That's what we're talking about.
Whatever Ghost of Ninjas passed. That's not my, that iPad's not my friggin' doing.
Definitely not. We heard that. It's not her doing. I'm sure Nada, the man who can't turn on his own live by himself, went out and bought that iPad Pro. Let's check, but her story, absolutely nothing to do with her.
Okay, you should get a computer to stream. I need a computer.
Yep, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I think it's been leaked. Damn, yeah, it's been leaked. I have somebody who watches the farm for me. I'm just kidding.
Definitely just kidding, guys. Definitely. Didn't admit to anything.
I'm kidding.
That's about as honest as her not buying the iPad.
How are we going to stream now? This is not going to work. That's why I don't want to, like...
If only you used the built-in tools that YouTube gives you for this. Do you think YouTube, seriously, doesn't have the tools that would enable them to make them more money? Really? No.
I don't know. I don't want to, like, give you guys content that everybody can watch for 30... So, I mean, unless you guys want... If you guys want to let me know, I don't know. We're paying customers.
Yeah. It's not your paying customers' responsibility to sort out your live streaming. Do your job.
I know, that's the thing, you know. No, Mistress Rebecca, the email, yes, I appreciate that. The thing is it only gives you the option for paid members. So it doesn't let you choose, like, which tier. I know, that's the thing. Like, it gets leaked, right? Because if I post the link, somebody who became a member is going to leak it to somebody.
Even when a paywall's done right, like when she was on OnlyFans, her stuff still got leaked. She knew that was going to happen before she started. She still went for it, but she knew it was going to happen.
Just do Patreon. I'm really considering, if I do move to another platform, I'm considering OnlyFans, because, and I do want to get, a whole new setup. I really have been wanting to clean my room and get it set up and put my shelves up and Clorox bleach and holy water my gamer chair.
Please do. And, you know, the drawer of old food and the trash outside your window and is it a broken closet? Is that why it's always open, or is it just always open because that's the way you exist? I don't know. But yeah, you could definitely clean up that area and do things. she won't, because much like the start of anything, it's I will start this once I've done this. And so not doing this thing prevents her from doing anything else. And so then she doesn't have to, because she's got to do this first, guys. And that's what this is going to end up being.
I knew this would happen. That's why I have to figure out a way, you know? And the same thing if I make a Discord. You need a link to join the Discord. So if I send somebody the link, someone's going to join just to get, you know what I mean?
Newsflash. And much like you have to figure out YouTube before you do this, but the Discord gets tied to your YouTube. It allows access based on your YouTube status. So if you're a member on YouTube, you can access the members only area in the Discord, or you can make the whole Discord itself members only. It just depends which one you do. So if she's not going to figure out YouTube, she ain't going to figure out Discord.
So I can't, I'll go back to regular chat. So I don't know. I mean, I was hoping, the whole reason I wanted another tier actually was for the more private streams. So if I can't do that, it's not like I want to try to get, I don't want to try to get more money. That's not like my goal.
Never.
I actually feel bad charging $30 to people watch.
Feel so bad you're still doing it? Seriously? No, you don't feel bad doing that. You absolutely don't. You can argue that you need to make money. Yeah, I would argue you make a lot more money than a lot of people, but you also have absolutely zero responsibility in your own budget, as we will discuss. I don't begrudge her coin, but she's gouging people right now, and she's not offering anything else really at all. So what's the point of this? Just to see if you could. And again, those 40 members, I just want to know what was going through their minds. That's all I want to know. Because if you've been a member for any period of time, even for the last week, you've got a pretty good idea of the kind of person she is. So were you really relying on getting anything more or having any more protection for paying 6 times the amount rather than the $5 initial?
So the whole point was for have a hug box for myself. Or
Yeah.
Not a hug box. Well, yeah,
Yes,
it's
a hug
more
box.
intimate to chat. You know, but there's no point if, like, my therapy is judgment free.
Yeah. Your therapy is also with a fucking therapist. Guess what? The internet is not your therapist. Go to therapy.
It's judgment free. It's not kiss my ass. You know, she'll touch, like, she'll tell it how it is.
Yeah.
She'll not
What, the
comment.
last time you saw her?
Here, no. But it's still not fair that you guys will pay $30 when it gets leaked and other people can watch. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
that's not
I
fair.
would just rather just do away with the tier.
Yeah, especially as it's far less work and I can't figure it out.
What I'll probably do is just delete that tier and just keep the very important users at $4.99. Better watch out for $30 refunds. Don't want to get Google's attention.
Quite aside from it impacting Google, I hope anybody who got that membership, I want confirmation that they got those refunds. Because I don't know if they have to request them, if cancelling it gives it them automatically, but I want confirmation that they got their money back.
Well, I'm just deleting a tier, you know? I think I'm doing a good thing. I don't want to scam people. I need an assistant for every part of my life.
It wouldn't
I'm gonna call
matter.
my accountant and cry and be like,
Oh,
please.
your accountant. Your poor
rise up and
accountant.
be like, please. You gotta help me with everything about this. I don't know anything.
They would be willing to do that for your taxes. Here's the reason why. She could have 100 assistants. They could be the best assistants? That's a word. They could be the best assistants known to mankind. They could be fantastic at their job. They could have managed presidents. They could have managed royalty. It wouldn't matter. You know why? Because she would ignore their calls. This is exactly the conversation we had when she was trying to get medical assistance for her eating disorder. And she was like, there's no help. There's no help, you guys. She was referred to 4 or 5 different teams. She was referred to psychiatry. She was referred to an eating disorder clinic. She talked to her GP. There was a ton of help available. She never went to more than 1 appointment or 1 assessment with any of them. It doesn't matter if help is there if you're not willing to take it. Doesn't matter if you have the assistance if you're refusing assistance. It would just be just like the doctor that called her when she ignored it. Well, I just can't deal with that right now. Okay, well, if you can't deal with it, what's the assistant gonna do?
Someone ordered a pizza to my house and paid for it. I didn't even hear the door.
I'm glad they paid for it, because don't do that to companies, but also don't send stuff to our house. And also, Would you trust any food item to eat any food item that showed up at random from her community? Would you? Because I wouldn't.
Thanks for paying for it. You know, I had munchies. It's the grossest kind of pizza. Check this out. Oh god. I don't even know. There's anchovies and broccoli.
Anchovies. I don't mind pineapple on pizza. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I will eat a chicken and pineapple pizza. I will do it. But that pizza sounds like a crime against food.
Oh my god.
Not just a crime against food.
Bitch.
A crime
Even
against
BBJ
food.
is crying. I'm not eating that. You guys are gonna get refunded for your tier. Don't worry.
They better. Because can you imagine the response she's going to get if they don't?
We will.
I want to know. I want to see it.
Bree, I know you guys think that the Fubo guy's not real.
Yep.
Because I told you guys about him and I said that I was like grossed out and said like no.
Because I love, respect and value all of you, I've not included this story in my edit. Because I had to listen to it once when I was watching and again when I was editing, and frankly that was 2 times too many. So here's my takeaway on the story. It doesn't matter. The only reason we're being told it is because it's there to absolve Nada of the responsibility of giving her the clap. Yeah? So whether he's real or whether he's not isn't actually important. If it's not real, that's weird, cringe, and I wish she hadn't said it. If it's real, it's weird, cringe, and I wish she hadn't said it. And she looks pretty desperate either way. It doesn't reflect well on her. Okay? And in terms of it absolving Nada of giving her the clap, it is much, much more likely that Nada was responsible, because there's no way she had this encounter with this guy and then just didn't know she had the clap for 6 months. Yeah, that's not how that works. So I don't care if it's real, if it's not. Her TMI stories are frequently not real and frequently involve the same kind of guy. The guy who's either got an abnormally large or abnormally small organ, the guy that is weird in some way, is smelly in some way, is gross in some way, but still somehow she ends up in a sexual encounter with them. It says volumes on Foodie's mentality, whether it's a lie or not. And in terms of it redeeming Nada, I've got a lot of reasons I don't like that guy. The fact that he gave her the clap is just one of them. Even if we were to remove that entirely, there's still 1,000 reasons not to like him, and it doesn't change a thing.
When I actually did meet with him, is Nader still alive?
What do you need to
I
know?
won't reveal that right now while I get on here.
She doesn't need to reveal what she did on New Year. We've got the timeline.
Honestly, no, nothing. No, we're not. No, we're not compatible as people.
True.
I'm gonna be getting a computer.
We're going to discuss this computer in a minute. She's going to be getting one.
His iPad. You guys.
You guys.
I mean, he has his own freaking YouTube money.
Clearly that was it.
Everything. Like, I don't think so.
Bear in mind, she doesn't lie, you guys. She doesn't lie. She changes her mind. She doesn't lie. Let's listen.
No, I didn't buy it.
So are you still with Chantal? Come on, Sandy. That's why I say to make clear, no, I'm not. She just sent me this as a gift. And actually I was going to buy one. So nice gift. Thanks, Chantal.
What's that?
Stop it. Stop harassing me.
Ah.
What iPad?
What iPad? Where?
Thanks, Chantal.
Thanks, Chantal.
No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't want anyone to know my business like that.
Well, that's not the same as not buying it, now is it?
But like, what do I do? I just thought it would be nice
to remind him how good life can be with the shiny, shiny things Mama Chantal's sugar money can buy him.
to help him. I want him to do good with his channel. I want him to support himself.
Can I also, by buying him a $2,000 iPad Pro, can I also point out that he's not using that iPad Pro to film? He's using his phone and he's holding the iPad Pro, which seems the reverse of what he should be doing, because I doubt he knows how to use it. The features of the iPad Pro are not going to serve him well, because again, he needed her help to start his live the other week. He does not have the technological know-how to take advantage of that device.
Regardless of how he's ever treated me, I just want him to do well.
That's pretty desperate.
iPad Pros are expensive.
Yeah, they are. How about taxes? Taxes are getting pretty expensive, huh? Especially, when they add up.
So basically, if you really want the truth, leave.
Oh, so the truth
I'm
is
not
here
supposed to
now.
talk about it. You know when someone's like out of your life, but not, you don't feel like they're fully out of your life kind of situation?
I actually don't know that. Genuinely and utterly got no idea how that feels. I'm the kind of bitch that when I'm done with you, like it takes me a while to get there, but when I'm done, you do not exist to me.
You know, it can't work as like a couple. Like, I got my family nice gifts too. Read.
You got your family boxes of weed and cheap wine that you then took to his house. And if you had gotten them anything else, we would have seen it on stream.
Oh, well.
You still haven't seen your family.
I was trying to keep it private. I didn't know you would say anything.
Yeah.
Can you blame me for not wanting to tell you guys about?
Can I blame you for lying? Yes. Yes, I can. I can absolutely blame you for lying. I can understand that you wouldn't want to answer for that because, of course, people are going to have something to say about it when the man that you claim to not be with has a brand new shiny iPad Pro at $2,000 a pop and you haven't paid your taxes and you're talking about your money worries. Yeah, I can believe it. When you're gouging your highest supporters for $30 in order to get this, yes, I can believe they'd have something to say with how you're spending your money.
That because people are gonna lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Like when I really care about somebody, I don't know. But yes, I did buy it as a friend, like because.
Oh, there we go. So we did lie then. Just confirming it now. You said no, then you said no again, then you said stop harassing you and no you didn't, and then he admitted it and you were like, shit, okay, yeah, I did it.
Things are just very complicated in general, in the sense of the way.
Doesn't
That's why I haven't
seem...
been talking about it.
You have been talking about it, but it doesn't seem massively complicated. It seems like you two had a really toxic relationship. You've been trying to break it off and he's been trying to break it off, and you've been sending him stuff, and every time you have an argument, you buy him something shiny because you can't stand the thought of being alone, so you'll take anything, no matter how humiliating and no matter how expensive. That's how it seems to me. Now, if my assumption is wrong, then my apologies. But that is what you've presented online, my dear, and that is how it seems. I don't think I'm misunderstanding that, and I don't think it's particularly complicated. I think it's something we see the world over a lot.
So I just want to keep it off my channel for now. So I don't
Great job.
Like right at the second.
Also, they're paying $30 because you've been baiting the idea that this is what you talk about at the $30 tier. All the juicy stuff that you're not going to give the peasants at $5. This you can talk about because it's safe. And now, no, I'm not going to talk about that, you guys.
Don't know why he has such a hold on me.
Ugh.
Maybe I'm foolish.
Yes.
No, I am foolish.
Yes.
You ever have anyone? I'm sure most of you have had to go through a hard breakup, where you just the pain is like unbearable.
Is that what she thinks she's going through right now? Does she think a hard breakup encapsulates this mess? I think there's a bit more to that, and it does rather assume an actual relationship and not what they've been in.
Oh, I am. I just want to be honest with you guys. Like,
didn't buy him an iPad. Didn't buy it. Oh, I just want to be honest with you guys.
I try not. If I don't want to talk about something, I try not to say.
Okay.
But
Or
if you
you
guys
lie.
ask me enough, I'll like cave.
Cave or lie and then get caught and then cave. That's a bit more accurate, isn't it?
There needs to be boundaries. I think what I'm learning here as
What a thought.
a streamer, and I've also learned there has to be boundaries also with things that I share.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep lying no matter what tier you're in.
Oh my gosh, Patsy, we like broke up so many times. Hi, Christmas rubbish.
Yeah, you did.
We've been trying on and off for 7 months to make this work.
Have you been trying that hard though? Because for a lot of that, you've been claiming absolutely no relationship. You weren't official for very long.
You guys are gonna make fun of me and think I'm a loser for doing that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Fuck. Maybe I didn't say not to say anything.
Okay, but why would your assumption be that he wouldn't say something? He clearly, if there's one thing I can say for Nada just recently, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, he's very clearly stated he didn't give a shit about her. In every action and every word, nope, we're not together, we're nothing to each other. Yep, she sent me something shiny. You can't say he's being particularly dishonest as to his intentions in the public eye at the very least. Yeah, this is entirely a problem she's creating for herself.
So are you moving with him? No, for real. We're not together right now. It's, like I said, that's why I'm not talking about it. It's super just, whatever.
Stupid?
Complicated, like super complicated.
No, it's not.
Those iPads are like closer to 2K, I think.
Yeah. So when she says she's going to get a computer, okay, let's for a minute put aside my personal reaction to her buying him a $2,000 iPad Pro that he won't be able to use in order to improve his channel when he's continuing to film on the phone that she also gave him. Let's just excuse my feelings on that for a moment. Let's put a logical pin into that. A logical pin? Let's put a pin into the logic. Maybe that's... Let's just ignore that as a thing, yeah? And let's look at, okay, she makes the decision to spend the money to give him a piece of computing equipment. Yeah, let's just leave it there. They spent $1,000 on Pizza's computer, and Pizza's live streaming from that, no problem. So why would you not take the same $2,000? Bear in mind that her understanding of computing is pretty basic, and his is practically non-existent. He can use apps on his phone with practice, but you know, he doesn't have a lot of knowledge from the looks of things. So neither of them need a particularly advanced machine. They could absolutely get enough for their needs if they had the same machine as Pete's, for example. So on the same money, she could have bought him a computer and her a computer, and then they both have access to the desktop and the expanded capabilities within the YouTube studio. So it actually would have been a better choice for both of them. And if she's insisting on spending $2,000 on something that's going to gather dust eventually, then at the very least she could have benefited both of them. But that's not where she went with that.
Oh my god. Look, I really care about him. Like,
Oh, I don't.
he is super pissed off at me.
What a surprise.
What his problem with me, the way he goes online and talk shit, he gets super mad, is because one of the sources of fighting is because I talk about him online.
So we're talking about him online. Okay.
So that's why I'm trying. Not to, because I don't want to exacerbate.
Where are
the
you
situation.
trying?
I don't want to start a war or just...
Somebody named for me the last live stream she did where she didn't mention or refer to Nada once. I want the last one that was Nada free. Please tell me. I want to know.
I don't want that, you know. Oh, I was just saying as a friend, and I gave it to him as a friend.
Look at her face here. Guys, I know I'm stopping a lot. Look at her face here. She was quite hurt by that. She was like, oh, he said I gave it as a friend. And then she stops for a second and she kind of lowers her eyes and she absorbs that for a second. Because here's the thing, for all she's sitting there going, no, we're just friends, she desperately doesn't want to be. And I think she was really hoping a big ticket item like that would buy her some play, I guess. Would, you know, do more than it's done, certainly. Because all it's done is have him hold it up online, embarrass her because she just lied about it, and be like, thanks, Chantal, no, we're still nothing to each other. And she hates that. She's just like, yeah. And she can't say any more because she's sitting here saying, no, we're not together. I didn't send it him because we were together, being the implication of that. And she can't rage about that. She can't get upset about that because that's exactly what she's saying is the truth, even though she hates it. And just, there was a moment where she was just like absorbing it and realizing that that $2,000 bought her precisely nothing.
We had something for 7 months, I guess. I don't know.
In your head.
In my mind, I was in some kind of relationship with him.
In your mind. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because that's not what you were selling. Not to us, not to him. Not for a long time.
I know, and I know it's frustrating for you guys to see me going down this path. But I'm not you. You
But
know?
pay me $30
Why not buy a 2K
for the privilege
computer?
of listening to it.
I do want a computer. I was always like, do I need a computer? Because I'll probably not use it much, but you know what? I'm going to, and I'm going to start writing the books I want to write.
I'm just going to stop. She's going to go into books just for a second. She gets really enthusiastic about it because it's a change in topic. It's like, anything, I'm going to get a computer and I'm going to do this with it. Let's not talk about the iPad anymore. Let's not talk about the fact that I could have bought 2 computers with that money. I want to do writing, guys.
I want to, yes. I have a whole bunch of books from university on writing, and actually I'm going to read Stephen King's On Writing again. It's such a good book if you want to like start writing. I want to write certain things that are in my mind. I have to write them. They've been bothering me for years. I've wanted to write them.
I'm here for write them. But here's the thing. Again, it's one of those things you sit down and do. You want to be a writer, go write something. Because there's no book in the world that's going to make you a writer if you don't start writing. There are books that can help you with like the publishing industry. There are books that can give you tips. There are things that can say, okay, well, when you set a goal, you can try doing this. There are suggestions. But writers write. And again, if you just spend time preparing, and never start on any goal, you're never going to get there.
Author era.
I'm here
I wonder
for
if my little room sanctuary in a luxury villa or somewhere, I don't know, cabin arc, but Danielle Steele style. We'll get like a faux bear rug, some champagne flutes.
And until I do that, I can't just get your bog standard notebook and start writing. I can't.
Anyway, I really didn't want to talk about him. I was doing so
Good
well.
job. You really, really weren't. Again, the last live stream where she just never mentioned him, please.
You know, so I'm going through a hard time.
Of your own creation.
That's for sure. Problem is I don't even know why, and problem is I don't want to focus on why.
That's her entire life. It's now, and every band-aid she has ever used to try and cover that up and patch her life back together. Every food she's ever eaten, every drug she's ever taken, any plea for attention she's ever given, any sex she's ever had. That is what that's bandaging up. And until she goes back to her damn therapist and does the work, this is all it's ever going to be.
I just want to avoid. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow for a coffee meeting. Bye.
Okay, I'll see you. That's as much as I'm doing. Yep, I think I said everything I needed to say. Her budget is just completely wild at the moment. So who is it in her chat that's like, apparently I'm guessing figured out a budget, because she's like, orange chicken, where's my financial manager? And I guess someone's taken responsibility for her budget. God bless you, sir or madam. Like, did you think it was gonna help? No. The moment you tell her she shouldn't do something, she'll go out of her way to do it. But let's look at the money. $300, $400, $500, however many dollars on the watch. It's hundreds on the Samsung watch, which makes no sense, because the advantage of the Samsung watch or any wearable device is that you can go running or you can do sports without having to have a phone on you. That's why it has the functionality. And she said she hasn't enabled all the fitness functions of it. So she's got it essentially as something for her car, but she can't use it in the car because she can't use it as a camera, so she has to use her phone, and she'd have to fiddle with it to answer it. And it would be more dangerous when she's driving, trying to figure out what she's doing with the watch, which she doesn't know how to work. So she spends hundreds of dollars on a watch so she can say, hey, Bixby, F you. That's what her hundreds of dollars have cost her. If she starts going on walks with it, that's something else. She can use the fitness, but she's never in a situation where she leaves her phone behind. So the watch is absolutely pointless unless she's going to use it as a sports accessory, which she's clearly not going to use it as. And then we've got the $2,000 iPad Pro, clearly a good use of her funds. No taxes at all, but you know, hey, maybe these extra memberships will help with that, eh? And Shatterbest, she mentioned in, was it the OG stream that I didn't cover, that she had taken some Shatterbears? It might have been part of the stream, I can't remember which. But she didn't have Shatterbears in her haul before, in either of her weed hauls before, which means she's done another load of weed. So if you start counting up that, in the last week alone, from New Year, so we saw her first, I believe it was 2nd of January, when she was doing, was that her New Year, New Coffee, or was that her craft cannabis haul? It was around there. So she did 2 hauls of cannabis that we saw, and she's also done another now because she didn't have those Chateau Bears before. And that's assuming she's only done 1 other. It's a lot of money to spend in a week. So she said, oh, I don't make 12,000, I make 6, and there's conversations all around that. But we know with the Penningtons, with the weed, with the computer, not the computer, the iPad, with the device, with the watch, and then the cost of any food she's eaten, because you know she hasn't been back at Nada's, and even when she's at Nada's she pays for groceries. So we've got to be talking $3,000 in the last week if we're going to be, you know, sort of reserved $3,000 in the last week. And this is how she's broke. So I'm gonna leave you there and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye everybody.